arguably one of the greatest college quarterbacks to live. This man, Mr. Ohio, Joe Burrow. This story's crazy. From backup to Heisman Trophy winner, the future NFL star. Joe Burrow is from Athens, Ohio, which is a small town, and where eventually Joe Burrow would be named Mr. Ohio his senior year of high school football. Joe Burrow signed with Ohio State in 2014. And you got to understand that at that time, Ohio State already had an embarrassment of riches at quarterback. And not to mention in 2016, oh yeah, Ohio State signed Dwayne Haskins. And with JT Barrett, the guy at Ohio State who's broken so many records.
You guys that know Ohio State history, this is something number one in the books. He's only had 21 starts. He's averaging 3 touchdown passes per game. He's the number one quarterback in touchdown passes in the history of Ohio State. JT Barrett!
Decided to come back as a redshirt senior in 2017. It was obvious that eventually it was going to come down to Joe Burrow and Dwayne Haskins the following year. Now we get to the spring of 2018, and Ohio State fans, like, we're split, you know. A lot of people are saying Haskins is going to start. A lot of people are on the Burrow train. But what I think really derailed this whole thing was Joe Burrow actually got hurt in practice. So he missed some time. I believe it was a wrist. Don't quote me, not 100%. So that actually set him back in the quarterback race. Now, this is where things get saucy. You got to understand that Joe Burrow has been there already for a couple years. He's from Ohio. Everybody, all of Ohio State fans know the kid. They love him. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I mean, it happens. So that's why you would hear a lot of Ohio State fans, you know, I don't want to say take credit, but claim him as a Ohio kid, because he is. You know, like for me personally, I've been following him since his junior year in high school. It was rumored that he would have gone to Nebraska had they offered him, had they accepted him. But Scott Frost said, is he better than what we already have? The answer is yes, Scott. He is. He was. And you blew it. But, you know, he took his visits and ended up down there at LSU. And all of us up here, you know, nothing but supportive and really rooting for him. And here we go. Just a kid from Ohio is going down to the big bad SEC. Goes down there, throws 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, throwing for 2,894 yards, and led the Tigers to a 10-3 record. He was in such a great situation too, not only offensively, but defensively, having Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit, Devin White. It was stacked.
And then allow the running back to cut. It's nicely done. Burrow to throw. Taking a shot. It is caught. Jamar Chase for the touchdown.
Burrow on a play fake. Deep middle. Got it. Complete to Derek Dillon. Dillon on the run. Can they get him?
Joe's senior year at LSU is definitely one to remember. And for me, that was one of the best offenses I've ever seen. I'm actually pretty thankful we didn't have to go up against them, and they eventually got to torch Clemson in the national championship.
Short. Yeah. But very effective. Now Burrow going to launch downfield for Chase. Who's got it? Touchdown LSU. Negative -1 yard. Clemson brings the pressure. It's picked up, and now Burrow is launching downfield, and it's Chase again who's got the catch, and again fighting inside the 5. Terrell was beaten again. He did save the touchdown. Those big 4-point plays. Burrow looking to run, escapes and scores. Well, they got the Fab Five.
Joe Burrow, senior year, he threw for 60 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, over 5,000 passing yards, countless records. Oh, and not to mention, the Tigers went into Tuscaloosa and won 46-41.
The system, you can do it.
Play fake to Edwards-Helaire. Burrow going for all of it. Caught. Touchdown, Jamar Chase.
But the game didn't feel that close, where Burrow threw for almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, which we all know winning that game put him in a great spot to move on to the SEC championship, get in the playoffs, and dominate, which would ultimately lead to a Heisman Trophy and Mr. Cigar Smoking, Bama beating Joe Burrow going first overall to the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2020 NFL Draft. It's kind of funny how a kid from Ohio goes to Ohio State, doesn't work out, goes down to the big bad SEC, breaks records, wins a Heisman championship, comes the first overall pick, and then he comes right back up to Ohio. And now he's chilling, and he's ready to take on the responsibility of being the face of the franchise. Now, Burrow and the Bengals have a questionable offensive line, which we'll get to in a second. But his rookie year, he threw for over 2,600 yards, 13 touchdown passes, and only 5 picks. Needless to say, the dude was having a pretty damn good rookie season.
Pass is caught for the touchdown. Mike Thomas.
Here's the issue. Joe Burrow got sacked 24 times. I mean, you could just type it in Google, Joe Burrow gets hit, and there's already a shit ton of videos that he's just getting pummeled. Take it from a Colts fan who had their franchise quarterback and then lost him early because we failed to get him protection. It's not good. And against the Washington football team, Burrow suffered a gruesome hit, a low hit, where he tore more than just his ACL and his left knee. He also tore his MCL as well. So obviously his season was cut short, even with those numbers and making some awesome plays. And in the 2021 NFL draft, a lot of people, including myself, were kind of hoping the Bengals would get him some protection by drafting, I'm going to say his name wrong, Penny Sewell, the tackle from Oregon. I thought he'd be a great fit. He's a Hall of Fame type of guy. Instead, the Bengals decided to go with Jamar Chase. It's not bad. It could end up being a crazy great pick. I mean, they had explosive chemistry at LSU together. But again, I was very concerned. But I think what their plan is on their board, they knew Jackson Carman was probably still going to be there. And that's who they ended up picking in the second round. The offensive tackle from Clemson. And they had three picks in round 4. And one of those picks was an offensive tackle from East Carolina, Deontay Smith. So I guess the Bengals did end up picking up 2 offensive linemen to help out. I'm not sure what their plans are to do in free agency. We'll see what they end up doing. The reason why I think Burrow is poised for a breakout year this year is 100% having to do with their offensive line. And hopefully the guys they drafted are improvements and they can contribute right away, get in there and make an impact. Because we're at a time in the NFL now to where these guys that are getting drafted, they don't need to sit for a year or 2. You plug them in and they get to work and they get better. Burrow putting up all those numbers with that team 100% has me a believer that as long as he gets some kind of help on the O-line. I know they lost AJ Green. However, I think Jamar Chase is going to be outstanding this year. Watch him to break out too, by the way. Just saying. It doesn't feel like this is going to be an issue for years to come. Like the offensive line isn't going to be garbage for a bunch of years to come. They recognized that they need help. They made 2 draft picks at the tackle positions. We'll see how they hold up. Personally, I think the sky's the limit for Burrow, but I don't think it will be long before you put Joe Burrow on the same level as, let's say, a Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to go Mahomes because Mahomes has won a Super Bowl and all that. Not there yet. But I think putting him at the same level as Lamar Jackson is probably inevitable, to be honest with you. I just wanted to share and recap the journey that Joe Burrow has been through, and it's been so much fun to follow and pay attention to and give you the main reason why I think he is ready for that breakout season. But hey, if you like this video, I plan on doing a lot more of these. Make sure you hit that sub button for me. If you don't like the video, just keep it moving. Act like this never happened, all right? Till next time, I'm out of here.